leaders, members of the county assembly in Kisii, were beaten up by thugs in the center of town at 9 a.m. in the morning. When I arrived there with a bunch of lawyers to see these guys in hospital, the police officers were telling me they don't have B3, all manner of these silly excuses you keep hearing all the time. To this day, no one has been arrested or prosecuted about that. The county government there in Kisii is running a militia, terrorizing people at night, going to estates, beating up people and so on, with the acquiescence of the police. Because the police know this. And everywhere in the country, you saw online last week what happened here in Allingham 1 month ago on Thika Road. 9 o'clock in the morning, thugs closed the road and terrorized people. We have begun our final descension into chaos. The question now for us as Kenyans is, how do we approach this and what are we going to do? So we are beyond condemning, beyond threatening, beyond asking for action. I think for me, beginning now, and I will consult with my colleagues in the opposition, we are going to have a retreat next week, and all Kenyans of goodwill, let us now engage our thoughts and minds on how are we going to deal with this government. Because this is not ordinary business. What you are seeing here is not ordinary business. There are no arrests. The political difference is not a good enough excuse to inflict the kind of loss and pain that we have seen this weekend. And while we are on that, and I will discuss more of this when I get another opportunity. There's stuff that people are not talking about. The government has decided to now begin, in addition to terrorizing opposition leaders, if you did not know, and some of my staffers are here, they will tell you, they have begun a new wave of digital terrorism against the opposition. They have acquired resources from some criminal groups in the nation country, and they are accessing social media accounts of opposition leaders. These days, we get trailed, and my staffers can bear me out. We get trailed by vehicles, I believe they belong to the state, with jammers. We stop to address rallies. Our Wi-Fi is interfered with. You cannot communicate. I was checking with my staffers who were checking with the team that Rigathi Gachagua was traveling with over the weekend. They have begun experiencing the same challenges on the trail. And these are jammers. I believe this is the work of the state. Who has the capacity to do that? You have seen unprecedented investment in propaganda, fake news, and so on. Last week you saw a letter purported, or a statement purportedly authored by Kanze Dena, the communication head of the fourth president, claiming that President Kenyatta has said he's not going to meet with Rigathi Gachagua and so on and so forth. All that is the work of the state. Now the state is investing huge amounts of money in propaganda, in fake news, and so on, targeting the opposition and so on, instead of focusing on the challenges we have as a country. All these are acts of a government that is not interested in the order and stability of the country. And let us not delude ourselves. Let us not delude ourselves. Countries that have begun this path this way end up like some of our neighbors. The level of anarchy in the country and the evidence of state failure is all over, is replete. And by the way, we talk to senior officers even in the security sector. They are demoralized, they are so frustrated. Where do we get some of this information? Is senior security officers, some of who talk to us, and they are equally demoralized. They are frustrated. They tell you all these things. They say this is unprecedented. The level of state-supported or state-tolerated crime against the people of Kenya is unacceptable. So I think the government has made its choice on this particular matter. It's now upon the people of Kenya to also now make their choice. And this is not going to come easily like that. It's going to require all of us to have conversations, consult one another, plan, and take a course that we believe, first of all, is lawful and preservative of our country, and then see how else we can address this problem. Otherwise, we are not going to reverse this. You know, our fellow citizens who happen to be in power, President Ruto and his colleagues, imagine unwisely that access to instruments of power guarantees you control and management of this for a long time. They are so wrong, and they will discover how wrong they are shortly. The unfortunate thing is that it will be at the expense of lives such as those that were lost in Homa Bay. Because none of us, you can't terrorize the public as a way of surviving, because the repercussions are dire. When wananchi begin to respond to this terrorism, to this madness by the state, you will not be able to control the country. You are radicalizing the country to a point where you won't be able to control it. When people rise up against this, it's going to be completely uncontrollable. Because ask yourself the question, these people you are paying, these thugs you are paying and goons and all that, to terrorize your opponents, when they are done terrorizing your opponents, what are they going to do? They are going to turn on you, first of all. They will come to your houses. They will want this money. You are socializing them to a consistent supply of income through crime. And that is not going to be the way of sustaining our country. Finally, because we are in this, and then let's be very honest with each other. We've not been here before as a country. This is unprecedented. It's unusual. And I'm not going to waste my time saying we condemn this in the strongest terms possible. We are done with condemning. How many times are we going to condemn? Memoranda has been taken to the Inspector General of Police. Representation has been done to the parliamentary committees. Faith-based leaders. Because if I am in leadership and people speak to me the way the Conference of Catholic Bishops spoke, I would actually be worried. The PCA bishops and all these people, if you are a leader and your religious leaders in your country speak to you the way these leaders have been speaking, you of course to be concerned and do the right thing. But it's abundantly clear they don't care. They just simply don't care. They're playing for one thing, survival. And nothing matters. Independent institutions will be abused. Security sector institutions will be abused so that one end is achieved, political survival. Unfortunately, the cost is very high. So I take this opportunity, painfully and sadly, to convey our condolences as a party to those who lost their lives yesterday, including a Form 3 student. That's how low we have sunk. Then urge my colleagues in the opposition that time now has come when our sense of commitment to opposition unity is going to be tested, our sense of patriotism is going to be tested, our nerves are going to be frayed, our patience is going to be taxed, and the temptations even to split us are real. What gift could you give this government than seeing opposition leaders either calling each other names in public? We as Jubilee are determined to stay in this for the long haul. We will play our even we ourselves do not like, or things that table and discuss them. We will not fall into the trap of breaking the first commandment when you are at war. Thou shalt not turn fire on your compatriot. The challenges we have are coming from one direction, the government of the day, and now is the time for us to cross ranks, work together, and ensure that we do the right thing for the country. I pray that we fall into those temptations of focusing on each other and criticizing each other, and sometimes using language that is intemperate. Patience is being tested. Some of these things are done by government so that we can fight amongst ourselves. We must refuse to walk down that. We as Jubilee are going to refuse to walk down that path. We will work together to ensuring that unity prevails, to ensure that we stay together and move forward to deliver this country challenges it now faces. The worst, the crime and insecurity initiated, supported by elements of government. Finally, before I finish, you wonderful people in the press, I want you to check this on your own.